Howdy, this is David Groce, your Texas Tax Lawman. My family and I left for a Carnival Cruise for spring break on Friday, March 6th, and came home to a world gone mad. We learned that toilet paper had replaced gold as the new precious metal, and that gas prices had dropped to 1992 levels. Since my return, I've been thinking through the various crises I have weathered in the past 3 decades. From Y2K, the dot-com bubble burst, 9/11, the mortgage meltdown, and the Great Recession. Reflecting on these past difficulties, I find myself asking whether the current corona crisis is more Y2K, 9/11, or mortgage meltdown. How we answer that question will help us find perspective in how we address the current shelter-in-place and social distancing orders. Every national emergency forces us to weigh and balance the competing priorities of safety and liberty. When we came home to a 15-day shutdown of restaurants, retail, and schools, it seemed clear to me that we have slammed on the brakes to prioritize safety over liberty. We are told that the threat to personal safety is so great that each of us must suspend our personal and business liberties and even our constitutional rights of freedom of religion and freedom of association, like going to church with other believers, in favor of safety for ourselves and others. I'm not criticizing this policy. Our leaders are faced with terribly hard choices and limited information. They have to do the best they can with the information they have. The question that they have to balance, and all of us as Americans have to balance, is how long can we maximize safety and minimize liberty without the remedy being worse than the potential harm? The job of every leader, business owner, CEO, father, mother, husband, wife, teacher, pastor, and mentor is to ask this critical question and pray that our leaders have wisdom to find the right answer. The president has said that he will make adjustments at day 15, and for that I'm thankful. For now, let me tell you what we at the Groce Law Firm are doing to serve you in these tumultuous times. First, we're still in business and going to work each day. For clients who expect a tax refund, we are still filing tax returns and requesting those refunds. For those trying to manage cash flow, calculating how much tax is due is critical in maintaining cash on hand to weather the storm. If you need our help, please continue to send us your tax data and we will keep working hard for you. Second, we can receive your tax data any way you want to send it. You can mail it, ship it, fax it, email it, or send it to us digitally via Dropbox, OneDrive, Google Drive, or by whatever method you prefer. You can leave it in our mail slot, or we can send a runner to pick it up. Third, we are keeping abreast of the changing tax filing and payment deadlines. We will send another email about the personal tax impacts of the emergency relief bills passed into law. Next week, we should have sufficient details from the IRS regarding the payroll tax credits to release a video for business owners. Let me close today with a lesson I learned as a high school student at ROTC training camp at Fort Sill, Oklahoma in the summer of 1998. One day they loaded us into a deuce and a half and drove us to a lonely plywood shack sitting under the shade of a century oak. It looked like the only one left on that weathered artillery base. In the morning, they taught us how to don and equip the M40 gas mask and hood. After a delicious MRE for lunch, the moment of truth was upon us. They lined us up and marched us into the wooden shanty. There was nothing inside but 40 scared teenagers, drill sergeants barking orders, and a canister of CS gas, also known as tear gas. They pulled the pin on that gas grenade and the hissing sound filled the room with a dense white smoke. All you could see was the grim outlines of your brothers from the strained sunlight struggling through the grimy window pane. The master sergeant ordered us to grab the man's shoulder in front of us with our left hand and then willingly remove our gas mask with our right hands. On his command, we pulled off our protective mask and our eyes, noses, and mouths exploded in pain as water burst from every pore like an unrelenting allergy attack. We were coughing, gagging, gasping, and spitting for air. The Sarge kicked open the door and told us to march out the door, holding tight to our brothers. Those who panicked and broke ranks ran for the door. 1 foot outside the door stood the massive oak tree. Those who lost their cool and took off running plowed headlong into the century oak and got floored by their own fear and pain. Those of us who remained calm marched into the open sunshine of the Oklahoma prairie. We stood there, arms spread wide, and let the gentle breeze wash the stinging gas from our skin. It didn't matter that it was 105. The wind and sun have never felt so good as it did that day. I think that's how we're going to feel when the quarantine is lifted and we return to our daily lives. A few of us will have panicked and plastered ourselves into the old oak tree. The rest of us will find that the pain is past and the warm wind blowing on our skin. As you lead your family, your company, your church, and your community through the challenge, take to heart the encouragement of Scripture in Romans 12:10 through 13. Be devoted to one another in brotherly love. Give preference to one another in honor, not lagging behind in diligence, fervent in spirit, serving the Lord, rejoicing in hope, persevering in tribulation, devoted to prayer, contributing to the needs of the saints, and practicing hospitality. If we do that, we will once again feel the warm summer breeze blow across our face and dry the salted tears. Please know that my team and I are praying for you daily. If you need help in these times or just a reassuring voice to come alongside you and comfort you through the storm, give us a call or shoot us an email. Until next time, adios. Texas tax and lawman legal disclaimer. Hey, I'm a lawyer. You know I have to have some lawyer mumbo jumbo. This is a general information video, not client attorney privilege information. The content is information only and is not directed to any specific facts or circumstances and cannot be relied upon as a legal opinion, even though that would be nice and save you a trip to the lawyer. If you have a specific legal question, feel free to contact David Groce directly or seek qualified legal or tax counsel in your state of residence, state of mind, or whatever place you call home.